All right, so second page here, starting off with some matching. Again, they've given you three equations in different forms. We've got, this is in vertex form, this is in factored, and standard. So use what each of those equations are easy, like what you can get out of them easy to identify which graph they go with. Make sure you circle the information on the graph that helps you choose the correct answer as well. So for vertex, I'm looking for the graph with a vertex of -3, -2. Okay. This first one, I can't tell where that vertex is. It's not on any of the crosshairs of our graph. So can't really tell there. B looks like it's at -3, -2. So that's a good start. And let's just check over here. This one looks like it's at +1, -1. Okay. So that's our winner. That's what I'm going to circle, is that vertex. And so 8 goes with A. Factored, that gives us our x-intercepts. We have an x-intercept at -1, 0, and we have one at +2, 0. So that's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look at the x-intercepts and see, working backwards here, I can, like, these aren't on the crosshairs, so I can't tell. This one, they're not on the crosshairs, I can't tell. So hopefully this last one, we do have a point at 2, 0, and another x-intercept at -1, 0. So those are our x-intercepts. That makes this one the winner for B. And lastly is C, but we can always tell with standard form because this is our y-intercept at 0, 1. And if I go to C, or go to number 9 graph, I can see we have a y-intercept at 0, 1. So that is what I'm going to circle. That's what helped me come up with that. Okay. Matching. Next three problems, we are completing the square. And then the 3 after that, you're going to factor. And it's you're completing the square on each of these. So completing the square on this equation, and then we'll factor it from there too. Okay. So this one goes here. Then move down to here, so on, okay? Let's erase all that. So completing the square, first off, I'm going to rewrite my equation with the parentheses and a blank space inside -15. Divide this guy by 2. -2 divided by 2 is a -1. I'll start writing my vertex form down here. We got x -1 squared, okay? Then we take that -1 and we square it. That goes back up here. -1 squared is +1. I add 1. I have to subtract 1. -15 minus 1 is -16. That's what goes on the tail end here. Here's my final answer. X -1 squared -16. Okay, number 11, same thing. I will rewrite x squared plus 10x with my blank space plus 25. We need to take the b term divided by 2. +10 divided by 2 is a +5. Start writing that down here. X plus 5 squared. You need to take that 5 and square it to go back here. That's 25. I add 25, I need to subtract 25. 25 minus 25 is 0. So you can put +0 at the end of this, or you could just leave it as it is, call that done. Our last one has an a term, so we need to make sure we factor out the a term first. This is our a term. So I'm going to factor that out away from the two x's. So that leaves me with x squared plus 8x, right? I divide that by 2, divide that by 2. We have our blank space, and 24 is not affected because it was outside the parentheses. From here, we'll follow our regular steps. Take your b term, divide it by 2. +8 divided by 2 is +4. start building my vertex form around that. Don't forget to bring down that a term that goes out front. I'll take that 4, I'll square it. That gives me 16. That goes back in here. Before I subtract 16 from 24, we need to multiply it by 2. Distribute that 2 to it. So we're going to subtract by 32 instead. 24 minus 32 is negative 8. And that negative 8 gets put on the end there, and we're done with that. So that's completing the square. To factor, we are going to look at the C term. In this case, our C term is negative 15 for number 10. And we ask ourselves what times what gives us negative 15, but adds together and gives us the B term, which is negative 2. So it's a bit of a puzzle, but negative 5 and positive 3 multiply together give negative 15, add together give you negative 2. So I can now write my factored form of x minus 5, x plus 3. And that's done. Factored form is quick and easy compared to completing the square. Again, take that C term, 25. What times what gives you 25, but adds together to give you your B term of 10. 5 times 5, both positive. Easy enough. X plus 5, x plus 5 is in factored form. Make sure you don't write it as x plus 5 squared because that would be vertex form. Okay, make sure you write it as x plus 5, x plus 5. So it looks like it's in factored form. Last one, a little trickier with that A term, but we take that A term and we multiply it to the C term, 24. That gives us 48. And then go through similar step. What times what gives you 48, but adds together to give you that B term of 16. I'm going to say, let's see, 6 times 8 doesn't do it. How about 12 times 4? That'll work. 12 times 4 gives us 48. 12 plus 4 is 16. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm rewriting my initial equation up here. 2x squared. But I'm going to put in 12x plus 4x plus 24. Okay, so my first term, my last term stayed the same. I basically took 16x and broke it into 12x and 4x. From here, we're going to group the first two and the last two, and we're going to find the greatest common factor and factor it out. So 2x squared and 12x, that would be 2x. Factor that out. And that leaves behind x plus 6. And then with 4x and 24, greatest common factor would be 4. And when I factor that out, that leaves behind x plus 6, which is good. We have these two that are the same, so that's one of my factors, x plus 6. The other factor is made up of what's left over, 2x plus 4. Okay. And now there's our factored form. Okay, I'll end that video there and make another one for the third.